Alright, so back at the map, what I'm going to do, because there's only 3 of you on at the moment, and we are missing Lenza. Who wishes to control Lenza tonight?
Dibs on Marc. I've been told to.
Alright, so I'll give you, where are we? Dennbok. Alright, and
Excellent.
Zelmarro, which leaves Brian controlling the wrong character. Almost like made him control Hypatia. I almost couldn't find Keridin though.
Everybody gets Hypatia.
I couldn't. Yeah, but I almost couldn't find Keridin because.
Well, she's up looting the corpse.
Well, that's what she says. Alright, so recap, anyone?
Zelmarro,
Okay.
you're up.
Indeed. Let me check my notes. Okay. Let's see. After we're definitely pursuing the Nogram side quest of, hey, I want a better axe. The guy saying, hey, find my son or what's left of my son. Bring me the signet ring. There's some other stuff in it for you. Have fun with that. So we went to the what was it? Plany's Guide in Taxidermy. I had a guide called Whiskey Pete, who incidentally did not drink whiskey, and got slightly overcharged for it because apparently I wasn't being charismatic enough, and we headed out there, and we ran into these 2 fine monsters and slew them with some very lucky criticals. Now, is there any other stuff we did?
Some of us ran around in combat doing nothing for a while because we were waiting for the right moment.
Oh, and some other people were, trying to take the head off other people so they could actually do stuff. Other than that, I think we were. I think oh, that's right. We would talk to the other guys. The actual proper adventurers who Duquan obviously has on quite the pedestal.
Cool.
Yes, and we're approaching the building that's up here when we got.
Rooted Manor.
We also are aware that there are pirates that have been known to operate, water pirates, in the area. And
So where are we right now?
We're just south of the ruins. So if you zoom out,
okay.
The ruins are basically directly north of that river crossing, and there presumably some cave systems in the area as well.
I believe he meant to say standing over the corpses of the fallen.
Well, there is that too. Oh, that's right. We were talking with Saint Etienne out of the
that was in the
Garrett's
hotel.
Yeah, back at the slide wing.
Yep. That's a pretty decent retelling, so you can have an extra 50 XP for that.
Woo!
No.
Should I update that, or are you updating that?
You can update that. You'll notice that I have updated your characters with the XP that they earned from the previous session.
Sweet.
As I mentioned, 3 players now have XP enough to level. Hypatia and Lenza can get up to 3rd level, and Marc can get up to 2nd level in Cleric.
And Nodgrim, thank you.
No, you don't have enough to go up a level.
To 2nd level?
You already are 2nd level.
Well, not technically.
Yes.
Oh,
Well,
I'm trained to 2nd level, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You have enough XP for it already. After last session, these are the ones that have now more XP.
Yeah.
It's a good point. I should be level.
Didn't you level? I thought you did level.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we chipped in.
Let's see if I have any notes about this. Lenza, Hypatia. I have a feeling we did upgrade.
Yes,
I have a feeling we did level them up last session, I think, because we basically chipped in for it.
Yeah, Nodgrim's 2nd level.
No, it does say 2nd level.
It also says you have 10 hit points. You would not have 10 hit points if you were 1st.
Yeah, okay. I am 2nd level then.
You are.
my spellbook still seems to have nothing in it. Oh no, Cure Light Wounds.
You cast a bunch of spells last session.
Yeah, I've got 1 out of 3 left.
That's why I'm playing a fighter.
Cool. So the map is yours to do what you think is required. What are you intending to do? And
Moves here.
By the way, you can have an extra 10 XP, Jaquan, for your dig on Caradwin. In the region.
I'll take it. I'm not too proud. I was going to say...
Neither is Caradwin.
Clearly.
Up to her elbows in Goliath loincloth.
To be fair, IRL, when you're recording this, it is a holiday time, so digging in a holiday sack seems somewhat appropriate.
You're not getting
Marc,
any more XP.
Marc moves here and we both get flanking and stab Hypatia. He said to keep him alive until he got here, not you.
What are your plans? And I just realised that something's happened with the map. So I'm going to fix it. There is a problem with the map in where the river has now suddenly gone into...
Sorry, I was called away for a moment.
That's right. The part of the map has turned into, no river.
Oh.
You can see that in the bottom right. It stops suddenly.
That's because you were copy-pasting when Marc decided to run away south.
It probably was, so I'm just going to put a better bit of map there to, make it look nice.
Yes, and it was never supposed to be there. I blame Marc.
That's
beep,
okay.
Beep,
I mean,
beep. But that's me running him over.
It's only so big a map you can make. You make the biggest map ever, and someone will still probably want to go there.
That's why I do like the Dune Seas of Tatooine.
Let's put that one there. And
waiting for it to load.
uploading.
Well, I don't know about anyone else, but Lancer and I are looting the shit out of that Goliath.
Oh,
Probably
dude,
the
that
actual-
is not what you want to loot.
It's probably not. I don't.
Nasty.
True. Oh, logistical issue. Do we need the heads of the Goliaths to claim the bounty?
You need something
Yes.
which you can carry.
The heads would be good. And how many coprolites do they put on their character sheets for that? Well, I know they're fresh coprolites. He said they were looting the shit out of it.
Ah, yes. Alright, so that looks a lot better now.
Indeed.
Alrighty.
Ooh, pretty. And I think, Grail, you get 10... Yes, you get 10 XP for using a river tile you had not previously used with those lovely little rocks. So
Oh, sweet as.
please enjoy that.
That takes me up to level 48. In
Ooh,
edition.
somebody's a bit unleveled.
Okay. Anyway, you can basically do what you want to do on the map at the moment. Feel free to tell me where you want to go, what you want to do. By looking at these Goliaths, they carried no device or object which you would consider to be of value to you.
Marc is moving where I placed him and beginning to hack off the head before he's going to start trying to skin some hide.
Okay. He starts hacking off the head. It takes a while. They've got big, thick necks. In fact, see if I can find a full big picture. Full big? That's good English.
English good.
Well, seeing that there's nothing on them, I'm going to go wander over to the one Caradwin is. I don't know I'm not sure what she's doing. I guess I'll find out and do the same thing. As in beheading.
Okay, I thought you were like, and whatever she's doing, I'm doing. That's not anatomically possible for a half-elf, but sure. I'm clearly talking about running on snow.
Oh, for a moment I thought it was more like beat them to death.
That's a good feature.
So
Yeah, it's gonna be a bit hard to get through those neck muscles.
That looks like a familiar image. Also, pro tip, if you're searching magic in Giphy for GIFs, there's a lot more Magic Mike than you might be expecting.
noted. So yes, he'll be hacking at that for a while. It's like chopping through a tree.
Right. Actually, Marc will be there. I will be up there trying to keep a lookout.
Alright, no problems. And he is getting sprayed with thick, rancid blood. And probably, you know,
Nalgrim's gonna step over here.
I
Yeah,
was going to say, weren't Nogrim and Hypatia covered in blood from my...
yeah, they were covered.
Yeah, so it doesn't
Hypatia
want to be-
was.
Yep.
So you may want to go to the river to splash off.
Hypatia
Sure.
splashing off in rivers, it's becoming a trend. Marc
Man,
being
I'm
covered
gonna-
in this thick, viscous, rancid blood has actually improved his charisma 2 points.
He does now smell better on the outside.
He does.
Scent of a man.
Wait, you knew how he smelled on the inside?
Yes, we've shared rooms. Unfortunately, what is inside him has come out often while he is sleeping, and it is not pleasant.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
They always share rooms. What do you think they get up to? It's
Me trying to breathe from Charisma 3 wind, which
belching and flatulence contests. Marc is...
Hey, I have an
9-0.
anime picture. I'm way too pretty to do that.
True. Okay. So, he will eventually cut through the neck. Hypatia is up with Ceridwen. Yeah, it's literally... You can work out where you want to go and what you want to do and how you want to approach it. I'm giving you free reign at this point in time. Marc will probably take about... Actually, is this the one you actually cut the head off, or was it the other one? It might have been the other one. it was this one. This was the one.
It was this one. Oh,
Yeah.
so he doesn't have to.
No,
He'll
so,
be
okay.
attempting to skin it then.
So, yes, okay, so that's a really...
Would any of our characters have a reasonable idea of what if, say, alchemists like our lovely elderly elven half-orc coveting alchemists would want any of these bits?
It depends.
That was asked last week, and the answer was, were you an alchemist? Then you probably don't know what an alchemist
I
knows.
think... Let's have a look at Ceridwen's character sheet. What does Ceridwen have as her secondary skill? Did she write it down? I think she actually has 2. Did she write it down? Type it down. What's her intelligence? 17, yes, she has 2. Let me have a look. I'm looking. Can't find where that might have been put.
Well, that'd just be asking too much.
Yep. I had a feeling, because I told everybody to put it in languages and abilities, just in there somewhere. But it's not there. They've been put down in the second or the third sheet. I might be going blind.
I would like to apologise in advance, Grail, but on behalf of Talsi. Sorry, Zeltarnin. Because it's what he'd be doing. Size, not to scale.
Fair enough. I'm going quite bonkers. Ah, there we go. Abilities. Okay, there you go. Ceridwen has Bowyer Fletcher and Mapmaker. For some reason I thought it may have had some form of alchemy.
Yes, was making some rough maps as we were going, that's right.
Yes. and I don't think anyone else has any skills likely. Of all the party members,
I have blacksmithing.
I believe that Lensa is a huntsman. She knows how to skin animals, but she's probably refusing to try to help Marc skin a Goliath.
Seems likely.
And what is Marc's secondary skill?
Herbalism?
I think it is something like that, yes. Because I need to get this as a premium and create my own character sheet. That would be
Yeah.
much better. I think he has herbalism, yes. That is something that I remember. So yes, that's what he
It goes with his clericy nature.
Yep. All right. Done. So yes, he is butchering this Goliath and getting covered even further with blood and guts, etc., and not doing a particularly good job of removing said hide. It's coming off in chunks with flesh and fat still attached to it, or coming off in shreds. But he's probably gleefully still doing it. Because
Marc pauses for a moment to scream at the sky. Berries don't do this. Why? Why?
Sure. And eventually, I'm going to say he gets nothing useful, but bad luck.
Hey, he got chunks and a learning experience.
He did. He has a second corpse to play at as well. That's probably taken him a good half an hour or more anyway. I don't even know if he has a dagger.
If not, he was going to borrow before he told what it was for from a party member.
Yeah.
And because I know Aaron, and Al can back me up on this, when he's finished, he will ask, did I learn enough to try again more successfully with the second corpse? He really wants his Goliaths in armor.
He has a Kapinga and he has a great axe. So he's borrowing someone's dagger.
He'll probably try
I don't have one.
Hypatia first.
I have a Dirk. You can borrow that.
Sure. Not particularly good for skinning something, but go for it. Short, fat blade. Anyway.
Hey, he likes it like he likes his dwarves. See, and you thought I was going to let that rest for a while.
Never. And he can hack at the head of the other one, and he'll remove it and chop up the skin for a bit. And likewise, he's pretty useless with what he's achieved, but he might have got a bit more hide. It's kind of, rubbery, fleshy hide that anyone who knows anything at all about armor smithing, and if no one knows anything about armor smithing, anyone who knows anything about blacksmithing would be able to tell him probably is going to be useless. But he can wear it as a headdress.
I'm going to let him piss on it and carry it around anyway.
Sure.
Aaron just stands there smirking at the whole affair.
Aaron's response is as you would expect it to be.
It has taken him considerable time. It is a gruesome sight. Hey, look, any Goliath that comes past after this, they're not going to want to mess with these guys. Whoever's done this to them, these bodies have now been completely and utterly butchered.
We left a message.
I believe the word desecrate is what you're looking for.
Yes, because a butcher would be much better at it.
Would he? Houston was fine. I'm wondering if any party member would mount one of the arms with the middle digit extended on the hand as a warning sign to any other Goliaths in the area. And I'm not sure we're that murder hobo-y.
No, I think the beheading at the mess of the beheading has probably been sufficient.
And audio to take out of context. What time of the afternoon are we at by this point, Grail?
Mid-afternoon, I guess. The combat didn't take particularly long, but the desecration of the corpses, as you put it, has taken some time. Whiskey Pete, you notice, has returned to the scene, and he is looking on with a mixed look of horror and horror.
Hey, two great tastes that taste great together.
Different types of horror.
On the upside, I'm pretty sure he's not going to backstab us.
Oh, he probably wasn't going to anyway, but yeah.
I mean,
he will hopefully get paid enough to not backstab us. You know, it's bad for business.
That's right.
If we survive and word gets back, it's not
there's
good.
business, and there's people who pick fights with giant creatures, murder them surprisingly easy while dying, and then spend an hour or two desecrating them.
I'm saying he's in business. We're just you know, glory and yeah, Toad's glory. Yep.
Do we want to camp or push on towards the ruins?
That's an excellent question. What's everyone hit points looking at? I'm about half.
Are you? We should be using those dots, Julian. Are you cool with that?
You can do that.
That's an excellent idea.
So what we have
Just
done,
so we can see what everyone's health is at.
So there are, if you click on your the circle icon, so you click on your character and then you click on the bottom right one, which is like those two circles. There's, I'm just doing this to Jaquan, a red, an orange and a yellow circle. In the other game that Brian and I are in, we've done red circles for if you are below 25% health, yellow circles if you are above 75% health, and orange if you are in between.
Also, if you see Marc has a slightly lowered bar
yes, you can
above
use the
his
bar
name,
as well.
He's used the green one where he's put his hit point total in, and that's...
Yes, you can do that as well, and then you'll see the health bar.
Yep.
Actually, I think you might only see your own controllable health bars. Can you see...
Yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah,
okay.
I see, yep. Because you can't see Lens's health bar, can you?
So I was just assuming everyone, the whole time we've just been standing here watching him hack his head off, I've been assuming everyone was healthy because no one had any like orange or red on them. Does anyone need healing?
Yes, some healing would be great.
So that's a thing that you can incorporate into your play quite easily.
Yeah.
It's a good way of being
There
able
we
to
go.
identify health instantly on the field of battle.
So
you don't need to put
above 75?
You don't need to put. See, Nodgrim has green. You don't need to put anything on you if you're fully healed. But yeah, above 75 is yellow, below 25 is red, and between is orange.
That's you, Zelmarro, isn't it? I'm standing next to you now.
Nope.
Nope. That would be
Nope.
Jaquan.
Yep. So I'm...
You're up here.
Yep. He went to go and do things, unspeakable things.
Marc has health or healing as well. I don't think Marc cast a spell. I think Marc has 3 cure light wounds left.
I think he would have healed me. I think.
I don't know.
Or did Nodgrim get hurt? He res someone.
Did he?
Well, he didn't rest. I think.
Someone had got badly hit, and he...
Nodgrim used 2 spells during the game, during last session.
Yeah.
I don't have access to his character sheet, but I'm pretty sure he cast a spell on someone. Might have been himself.
So
Quite possibly, because I think he got hit, and I got hit, and someone else.
Right,
So it definitely wasn't. I definitely had to make a save versus death.
Cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here, click on edit, add in player journals for Marc to. This is going to be a risk, isn't it? Dennbok.
Mm-hmm. Giving me his character sheet.
Yep.
I'm not going to use that for bad. And actually, I'm pretty good at ignoring knowledge for characters.
And Brian is running Code One, so I'll give him access to Caradwin's character sheet. And Lensa is being controlled currently by Zelmarro. So I'll give you access to Lensa's character sheet. Done. So if you need to look up anything during the night, you have access to do so.
Cool.
Excellent, thank you.
Alright. Yes, the feel free to heal up. The butchered, bloody, bleeding remains of the Goliaths will attract many predators and scavengers during the night, I'm sure.
Well, we probably don't want to rest up then out here.
What's worse, orange or yellow?
Orange.
Orange.
All right.
It progressively gets darker.
I will point out that that I've got a hit point bar now.
Yes, but only you can see it.
Oh yeah.
I was wrong about that. How do people feel about chucking the now scattered in one case 20 area remains in the river to admittedly reduce our fearsome reputation, but also make the predators a little bit less likely to come?
I don't know. They've got two things to feast on, and I think we've polluted enough water systems already.
It's more that we'll... If we're drawing things to us and we're really not camping very... The ruins are empty and we camp there.
Well, before we camp, I walk up to Zelmarro and I say, "Let me help you with that." Oh, please, the gods heal this champion of the world.
I'm a champion now. That's an upgrade.
Yeah, which Zelmarro are you talking about? I mean...
Hey.
Sorry, I'm just having a look at the description. What is it? 1d6 plus 1.
Yep, Hypatia went toe-to-toe with something more than twice the size, so that probably counts.
Is that champion of the world or kind of thick?
What did you get?
3. Just
Three
terrible.
is-
It's better than 2.
I suppose.
How much hit points did you need, Zel?
I'm 2 off full, so that's not too bad. I can deal.
Nice.
Okay. And is Marc going to restore health more so, or not?
Nah.
Done. Anyway, trying to shift these 2 corpses into the river, especially the one up near where Nodgrim, Hypatia, and Caradwin are.
Yep.
It would be a monumental effort, even with the... Ooh, Hypatia just got red X on her. Would be a monumental effort, especially considering the fact that if 2 of you have prodigious strength, you would still struggle immensely.
Cool.
Especially
Well,
now
we
that they are
could...
completely and utterly devoid of skin to grab hold of.
Sticky. We could look around and see if we could fashion some kind of rudimentary lathe, but shall we just press on?
Let's just press on. We're not the freaking captain.
You like the Galaxy Quest reference? I believe Caradwin would want to sneak off ahead.
Isn't that Lence's job?
Or Lenta.
Yeah, but Caradwin likes to
thief
think
one.
Caradwin likes to think she's a sneaky character. And she doesn't wear heavy armor, so who knows?
I, on the other hand,
Wear medium armor.
it looks heavy on me.
What are your plans going forth, and forth going where?
Oh, he thinks we have plans.
Okay, so let's do what we were originally going to do and sort of go off to...
Ren's has been left behind, so I'll bring her over.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
That's okay.
Kirkle Ridge.
That's how stealthy she is.
This is in Kirkle Ridge. Kirkle Ridge is a series of small hills, winding little valleys and crevices, etc. So you are in the middle of it at the moment.
Yep. So I was thinking going around here and basically seeing getting sort of vantage so we can scope out the ruins.
Sure. Feel free to move
Uh,
whoever you wish to
yeah.
move into that vicinity.
All right. Well, Lindsay will go on first. Then I'll be close behind.
Oh, I should be up with Mark.
I'm watching what you're doing.
Nodgrim, do you want to join us in this little clearing that seems like a good place to
Get
run out
ambushed?
of and otherwise standing out of sight?
Nodgrub's chosen to ignore that and go into his own little clearing.
Hey.
Yeah, Nogrum changed his mind.
Yep.
I mean, Marc is covered in blood and gore, and I mean, why would anyone
Well,
stand next to him?
In fairness, so am I, but well, maybe less gore, but definitely blood.
Okay, so the small little hillock that you are upon there gives you some form of vantage towards the manor. The walls that remain average between about 5 to 15 feet high. They are considerably time-worn, very old. There's not much that remains of them. You can't really see, though, too well over those intervening trees. There is still a fair bit of foliage between you and the remnants of the manor to get a clear and concise view and vantage from here.
Alright.
I'm going to point to Mark and go, if you look over there, hillock, you can see the pillar. I'd say it to him if he was here.
Are there any obvious? Okay, is there any obvious? Is there anything like smoke or signs of like of recent habitation that we can see from here?
No, there is not. None whatsoever. By the way, Whiskey Pete has pretty much bade you farewell after the butchering of the second Goliath,
I can't imagine why.
and he said you're right to get out of the bridges as he's wandered off and just kind of talking to himself and muttering as he occasionally looks back over his shoulder, shaking his head, and disappears into the woods.
I think we need to actually start drinking whiskey after seeing that.
I'm going to encourage him to sleep well.
Can't unsee that. In fact, he's thinking of drinking whiskey now for the first time in his life.
See, I've fulfilled his life.
You have. It's gone full circle.
No, you're searching Circle of Life and Gifts. So, what was the forthgoing plan? I assume Hypatia wants to run commando roll forward and hide in this pit.
True, something like that. Possibly not quite quite that physical, but sure. I'm probably
Commando roll gives you a bonus to stealth. That's what movies have taught me. And by movies,
I would accept that.
I mean Tropic Thunder.
Well, I'm going to sort of wander in the trees and try and have a concealed approach. And Lenza will
Do what you do, but better.
pretty much sort of take a more easterly approach.
And remember, depending on the color of the clothing you're wearing, you will find it easier. If you're wearing some light baggy greens, you'll find going easier. Is all I'm saying. Music fans.
I...
I was only 19.
Yeah, right. Okay. It's too. Okay. Anything interesting about that crater?
Okay, it looks like the earth around it has been. It's hard to tell because it looks a bit old, but it does look like the crater has been man or creature made. Something has dug at this for some reason. It is about 10 feet deep at its deepest, most central point. Yeah, quite sizable.
Okay, so it's a big grave or a even bigger latrine.
Either or, but
Ew.
it doesn't look like it's been used as a latrine. The ground does look to be quite hard and rocky, a couple inches below the surface, so digging down would have been a tremendous effort to go that far down.
Interesting. It is quite interesting, actually. Maybe presumably someone was looking for something. Maybe they didn't. They got interrupted.
Now that Whiskey Pete's gone off, I'm wishing we'd asked if there were
You're breaking up a little bit.
now that Whiskey Pete's gone, I wish we'd asked him about cellars. Also, I may need to go for baby in a minute.
No problems. Okay, so Hypatia has moved closest into the manor. The wall that does remain is quite solid, even though it is quite weather beaten. It is thick and really heavy duty. Very unusual to see walls so thick. You haven't really seen them outside of castles before that would be quite so thick.
Ooh.
I wonder what they were protecting from.
So,
Where Lenser is, yep, it's more of the same. There are the ground. You weren't told that the ruins by Whiskey, the ruins of this manor house are incredibly old, and Zeltarnin has joined.
wait, no. I have to wait till he's on. Then I can go, aww.
So the ruins of this manor house are incredibly old and predate any known records, etc. No one even knows if it is a manor house. Really, it's just called the manor house. You can see the passage of time in the fact that the stone flooring has, in many parts, the majority of it, has been either worn completely or has been removed in the passage of time.
Jeez, that was...
The noise.
The grand entrance.
Indeed.
So you've now committed a war crime.
Oh.
I played you as you would have played you.
Wait, was it a war crime against people who weren't human?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's fine.
You were trying to get your leather armor.
Oh, yes. Perfect. I agree.
You've given whiskey. You have driven Whiskey Pete to drink whiskey.
Perfect.
So Lenser has cartography.
Lenser has cartography, correct. Oh, not Lenser.
Sorry.
Caradwin has map making. Yes.
I will ask Caradwin how much she knows about geography because stupid being smart enough. Fine, I'll ask her about geology because I actually know the difference.
I know all about it.
And if there's any reason why there would be
doing a man or a woman, female. Okay.
An elf.
Yeah,
an elf makes no difference. They're monogendered. In fact, elf is their only gender. If there's any geological reasons she'd know why the walls would be so thick, if they'd have to be, or was it no particular geological reason?
Did you think of any reason, Julian?
Well, considering the fact that... No, you don't need to roll. She's not from these parts. She doesn't really know too much of the makeup of this place. She's also not a geologist.
I'm reaching. I'm just seeing if she knows.
Yeah, she knows how to make and read maps. Given the fact that you did not get a map of this area, you instead got a guide, then she's not really sure. I mean, if only you had someone who had some kind of knowledge of stone in the group.
That would require a level of cunning.
You mean like a dwarf?
Nah, he's only got knowledge stoned.
Something hemp.
The shorter party member may have some conceptual idea as to why. Might.
And
Do you
why
want to
do I
try
think it
any
would be
knowledge?
so thickly built?
Clearly because it is a fortification.
Used to be a fortification.
Correct. There is no other reason for it to be. The ground here is sturdy enough that it doesn't, well, actually building it thicker like this, if the whole building was going to be made of that, would make it much heavier. So the ground, if there was a problem with the ground, you would actually want to make a lighter construction rather than a heavier. So really, and the walls that remain are good, strong stone, even though it's seriously weather beaten. So it is old. We are talking old, and it is one reason and one reason only. This was not a manor house. This was a fortification.
So Nodgrum, given that, because I read this book one time, a mate of mine when I was young stole it, and he was then selling it, but that's irrelevant. It was on the history of warfare, and it suggested that there were these people called sappers who would sometimes dig under walls. Is that what this hole might seem to have been? Someone trying to undermine or dig under the walls?
I'll go have a look in the hole.
Hang on a second, I'm just going to take my headset off for a second. Just got to plug it in. Alright, headset is now charging. Yes.
Does that hole look like a natural event, or does it look like someone was
He
blasted?
said someone had man-made it.
Yes, when
At great
Hypatia was looking
difficulty.
at it, yes, a couple inches below the surface of the surface, it is quite and substantially rocky. It is 10 feet deep at its deepest point, give or take a couple inches. It would have been made with considerable effort.
Given its placement close to the walls, I'm wondering, well, under the formation, did it seem like it was done a long time ago or more recent?
It looks recent, Nodgrum. Looking at it, you reckon this has been done probably in the last month or so at the latest, and you actually see, as you are looking at it, that there are flakes of other stony substance around.
This is definitely a new hole. I'll pick up some of those flakes and have a close look at them.
Did they steal an obelisk? That'd be weird.
There's a good idea.
They do look like the stony shards that one might equate to an obelisk.
I would like to point out that when Aaron gets XP for this being people's favourite moment, that he could only see so high because he stood on the shoulders of giants. In this case, they're skinned corpses and me.
Yes, it looks like something or someone may have dug up an obelisk. Now, the size of the hole would indicate that it wasn't probably a particularly gigantic obelisk, and that there was potentially some damage that had been done to the obelisk in the retrieval of it. Again, saying if it was an obelisk, but the small fragments do look like the same kind of substance that make up the majority of them.
Show the fragments of the group.
And you have not seen an obelisk for some time.
Guys, I don't want to be dogmatic, but I feel that we should make a note of this under an asterisk?
Yes, I am.
There are actually caterpillars that have gone into their chrysalis stage, and this one has hatched.
Like kill the
You know
moon.
what? Nobody was appreciating my beautifully crafted pop culture reference there.
No,
I chucked in dogmatics and asterisk.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
caterpillars.
Fair. I mean, we know you
Yeah.
do like kaiju.
I did register. I just didn't know how to respond to it, and I was busy trying to write the notes.
Oh, if you don't know how to respond to it, you just say toxic masculinity, and that's fine.
Wait,
Also-
so did we find the dwarf?
No,
Not yet. We
Nice.
just reached the ruins after
he's
Like,
been with us
found.
since we rescued him, Aaron. Wow.
Oh, sweet. Let's hand
Also,
in.
Nodgrim, you're looking at this hole and the marks that have been made by the tools. The tools are significantly larger than what a normal person could wield.
Yeah, absolutely. There's new ones also on the table if you want a new one.
Very interesting.
If you
Some very large machinery was used to pull this out. Some sort of large piece of equipment, larger than what a normal person could handle.
Oh, so
Large enough
like
for
something
Goliath,
that's Goliath.
This might be giant done.
Giants. We didn't see the giants having any form of tools or something, so that seems weird, unless perhaps
The Goliath
they were
was
used
using a
as
club.
labor and abandoned.
Well, there might be smarter. There might be smarter or different Goliaths who know how to use tools. It's entirely possible. Maybe
Oh,
there's some smart big wig guy. Who knows?
Does it look like they put it onto a wagon to get it out of here, or does it look like some giants carried it away?
That's
It is-
the question.
Okay, so depending upon the size of the obelisk, it would probably be considerably heavy. Putting it on a wagon, you would expect to see ruts. Something that heavy on a wagon would definitely dig into the ground. You see no ruts of wagon wheels. You see no drag marks.
Maybe a Goliath
And-
just pulled it from the ground.
They're not that
but
big.
would it? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Goliath would
that's bad.
carry something as big.
If we're
So
looking
it'd
for
have to
something
be like
bigger.
a great worm or something like that.
Or no,
Right?
it could be. I mean, something like multiple Goliaths could probably carry.
Yeah,
something.
they could pole
But-
bearer it.
But if it was like multiple Goliaths, let's say they made like a rig hunt, like a carriage type hunt, a palanquin for it or something
Oh, yeah.
like that, would they not have like the heavy footsteps or anything like that, or would we not like see disturbance in all
No,
these
no,
trees
the
that are
ground-
nearby?
Well, it depends which way they took it. The ground is hard enough that if they were walking with their feet and the displacement of their feet, it probably would, be almost inconsequential to disturbing the ground.
We
But
need to be
putting it-
better trackers.
Yeah, but putting it on a wagon and having wagons, and we've lost Den.
Yep, I'm still here.
That's right.
Technical error.
Putting it on a wagon and having, the very hard, narrow wheels of a wagon would definitely drive a rut into the ground that you would still see some form of indication that it had been here. So it is most likely that if it had been removed, it was probably removed in your expert opinions, and you do have Lenza, who is a huntsman and has some limited tracking capabilities, that, yeah, it would most likely have been removed either by hand, so many hands to make light work, or very big hands to make light work. But there has been no vehicle used in this retrieval.
Excavation.
Of course, it might have also been a very small obelisk, or not an obelisk at all. Who knows? It might have been a short, fat one.
Also, they could have put it on some sort of platform and use the rolling log thing.
Yep.
That would spread the load a bit.
It would.
Yep.
So we're looking for some Egyptian Goliaths making a pyramid out of obelisks. I mean, space aliens.
Sounds about right.
Sounds
rolling
legit.
log method, but okay, they're trying to make Stonehenge somewhere, or
they're, they're members of Spinal Tap.
Oh, it goes up to 11.
So how deep was this pit? Did you say about 10 feet?
10 feet at the deepest.
10 feet. Does anybody want to climb in and check it out? See if the ground is loose at the bottom or if it's even harder at the bottom.
I'd say Nogrum may be the best person to assess that.
Also, the worst person to climb down.
Is anybody in the group of Fletcher?
Well, you'll have to
Yes.
pull me back out.
Yes,
Who's the
Caradwin is a Fletcher.
Caradwin's the Fletcher. Caradwin is not here. Dang it.
Under the control of Nodgrim.
Nodgrim. I mean, Caradwin. Do you think that these flakes of obelisk would make sweet arrowheads? Could you make them into sweet arrowheads?
What do I reckon? Are they
Yeah, Caradwin could possibly...
serviceable?
Caradwin could possibly manage that. I mean, you know, they're not like super sharp, but you could probably nap them away a bit. But
They're serviceable.
I just think it'd be kind of cool to hit people with obelisk shard. No?
Well,
Am I
no-
crazy? Am I the only
no,
one
no, no.
thinking that would be cool?
No,
Yes,
I
yes,
It could be
agree.
interesting.
you just
Good
want
to
to
go.
say, welcome to the Valley of the Obelisks, bitch, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Wonder if that'd make them magical.
I mean, now I'm wanting to make a sword.
I feel like if it did, it's probably been tried before, but it doesn't change the fact that it's pretty cool. And
No, still wanting to make a flint sword.
oh yeah, absolutely. But we don't have a shard big enough for that
At the moment,
at the moment, indeed. And they're not made out of flint; they're made out of some kind of.
better than flint.
They're not even uniform. There's different.
If someone's got a rope, I'll go have a look.
I have rope.
Of course you do.
He has a donkey in
The
his back.
best. Like we need to. In my notes, I have get a cart. Carts are cool, maybe with an oxen. So we should do that to carry all of Al's shit. I mean, her patient's shit.
No, how about her supplies? Because again, we want to be very careful what we're saying.
Yeah, indeed.
Caradwin had to get the donkey to carry all her iron spikes.
Oh my goodness.
Did it carry the iron spikes, or did it become the iron spikes? Also, is she hungry? How many has she eaten recently? Are we noticing a decrease in the iron spikes as time goes on?
Does she have a serious deficiency? Does she have a pet we don't know about?
Are your lodestones going a bit crazy near her?
Ugh.
Yep.
She has 48 iron spikes on that poor donkey.
Had.
Had.
Where is
I'll tie the rope around my waist.
Sure.
Someone help lower me down.
Okay, I will be one of the people holding, so when the dwarf plummets, we can
How
snap.
about
So
we
you
get-
get around your waist?
Yep.
Okay.
How about we just time off around that round? That tree is probably close enough to time off against.
Sure, it's small.
I mean,
it doesn't have a
probably
particularly thick trunk, but it will service no end. At the very least, you can kind of wrap it around it, so he's got to go down.
Nodgrim will be trying to safely go down anyhow. This is just a backup mission.
She puts the lotion in the basket.
That could have been a gift. You need to
Dang it,
level up.
I'm sorry. I am sorry.
Just by the way, half of the gifts I've posted so far have been on your behalf.
You, Nodgrim, going down. Actually, now that we have, let me remember, now that Zeltarnin is here, I will remove Dennbok's control of his character and character sheet.
I deleted the character sheet. The thing to do there, Grail, is not transfer it back to him for a minute, just so he's starting to wonder.
Yep. Don't worry. The smart thing to do is to post really crazy comments as him.
I didn't even think of that. Add a card. Sad.
Hmm.
It's
But
true.
worse.
He is.
But worse. Okay, so you can lower Nodgrim down. Is Nodgrim
Oh,
removing any of
you
his
mean that
gear?
he's a capitalist? He loves owning property?
I'll be fine.
Sure, and you are. You are at the bottom of the hole. What are you doing down there?
Having a look around to see if there's any bigger shards, having a look to see if there's any further sign of what happened to this,
And-
like maybe a loose dirt or something.
And the important question is asked of Jaquan, are you removing the rope now?
Yup.
Alright, there are more shards down here, but not any bigger. The larger
Sorry,
shards,
how big are they then?
they're about the same size. The larger shards aren't anywhere in particular. In fact, it looks like the shards at the bottom here probably fell and from the top and just went down the edges. They're around the edge of where they dug. So it's like they dug
But I'm
around it.
definitely I'm on bedrock here. It's not like tilled soil or anything like that.
Absolutely. It's just pretty tough and rocky down there. It's like they dug around it, loosened the earth and whatever, and when they were doing so, they may have struck the obelisk, if indeed it was an obelisk, and that has removed shards. When it's been removed and extracted from the ground, they haven't done so under duress of any form to strike it. So that would be your expert opinion, why you're not seeing any shards in the middle of the crater, just around the edges.
All right, I'll hoover up any I think could be used as arrowheads.
Sure.
I know I'm not officially controlling Marc, but I feel like in this case he would shout down something along the lines of, hey, even tinier one, yes, you the grand rat, grab some shards that I can make a studded club with the fragments.
He's got a
I'll
nice
grab-
big axe.
I will grab some diamond-shaped sort of fragments.
Alright, well, you don't need to have them diamond-shaped if you're going to nap them. You just need them sizable so that you can nap them.
Indeed.
So you can get 2d 10 plus 10 decent-sized shards. And this is the group as a whole. Someone can roll.
Excellent.
5, which is 15 with the plus 10.
Yep, so 15 decent-sized shards
Sweet.
that Caradron believes would be of sufficient quality to make into arrowheads once they are napped. But you'll need to find someone who can nap them. It is a very rare skill.
Not practiced by a lot of civilized people.
No.
Ah, come on. You should know how to nap. Everybody should. Come on.
No one's saying that everybody shouldn't know.
You're getting confused with kipping, which is sometimes called napping.
I call out.
Doesn't that involve fish?
Maybe. That's that's kippering.
Yep.
I call out. I'm coming back up, and I start marching back up the side.
Sure, you get back up without anything, that wasn't a Sarlacc pit, so you're okay.
No. Well, on the upside, we don't have to wait 1,000 years. So
Right, I'll recover the rope.
positive.
You have the rope, you have the dwarf, you have the stones.
And I relay to him that it looks like this was an obelisk, and someone's just dug it out from above.
Cool. I should point out to the party that if we go back to town and see if anyone's actually bothered mapping all the obelisks in this area, and if someone noted it was here before. I mean, how long ago anyone mapped it, patterns, blah blah blah.
Surely, this is pretty recent, so if it really was an obelisk, surely people would remember.
Right? Whiskey Pete must know. He said he knew this place like the back of his hand.
He did. He also wandered off because of the against fleshy creatures you committed.
What? He ran away.
You scared
No. He staggered in a drunken horror.
Yes, you terrified him with your quite uncivilized and barbaric ways.
What I'm doing? I was looking for gifts to post because
Yes.
That's what he says he was doing.
Alright.
That's not
Yeah.
a gift. That's not a proper. There might be a gift site, but it's.
It's the
Yes.
Pornhub gift site that he got caught on.
I'm just looking for gifts to post. Uh-huh.
Ask him what the search terms were.
Sure. So, anyway, sprung by your better half?
No, that was, I'm guessing, a Relly.
Oh,
Voice.
okay.
Indeed,
Even worse.
indeed it was. Just
Even worse. Alright. You have the stones, you have the dwarf, you have the rope. You have no other answers, though, at this point in time.
Let's sally forth and check out the rest of the ruins. See if we get jumped.
Well, we're going to
Okay.
attempt to camp there tonight. We have worked out that we'll be attracting some predators, given you chumming the landscape there.
You are also still covered in blood because you have not cleaned yourself off and have been traipsing it across the land.
Oops.
oh,
Yeah, okay, that's actually kind of bad.
Step in the room.
I thought he was Mark was considering that the drying blood was forming its own form of armor that perhaps was not as good as leather, but he'd do with what he had.
Blood
Water.
armor.
I'm gonna try and clean myself off.
Just build it up one layer at a time.
Alright.
Yep.
Those of you
Wait,
who are now
most
cleaning...
importantly, did you collect the tusks from them?
You severed the remaining head that hadn't been severed.
Excellent. I mean, that's worth 50 gold.
Yes.
And I don't think that Zeltarnin was here at the time. So I'll show you what you were cutting through. I'll bring up your picture
Yes, he wasn't.
again.
What?
Oops, that's not what I want.
No, not the Pornhub one.
Hoisted by his owners, the French would call it petard. Anyone else? It is the actual picture.
Oh,
No, I drew on the map. And I'm trying to,
oh right.
I'm trying to grab what I drew, but it's not.
Well, it's
letting
now
me.
an arrow pointing towards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're actually really hard to select.
It's a sign.
Yeah. What layer was I on? There we go. I was on the token layer. I did. So that is what you were cutting through, basically. That's
So a lot of work, even with the great axe.
yeah.
Oh, so much work.
A lot of work, a lot of messy work, and you know what you need at the end of a job like
And
that.
then in the presence
A
of
Solo.
stack of mushrooms.
A solo. Gotta slam it down fast.
Slam it down.
and then
Right
in
on the
the
fist.
presence of Whiskey Pete, you skinned them both poorly.
Yeah.
Having not told Hypatia what you borrowed Dirk for.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Because we all know you're not going to actually watch the video. On your behalf, having failed to get anything off the first creature, I asked if you felt that you'd learnt something that you might be able to try on the second, so you did it all again, and I believe that was what broke Whiskey Pete.
I mean, yeah.
You're
Also,
drawing
you
more
did get
penises,
something.
Julian.
No.
Looks reasonably anatomically correct from what Julian's told me.
Right. After that, you can lose XP.
The wheezing.
And lo, it was everybody's favourite moment, equaling the XP I lost.
Smart ass.
So,
You know it.
so after cleaning off, we search these ruins. Is that the plan?
So that, if I can
Yeah.
it on the
That's my plan.
map layer. Is that on the map layer? It looks like it is on the map layer. Alright, those two people washing off their excess blood and gore and grime will notice on its side, in the bottom of the lake, or this small little perched lake or whatever it is here, pond, deepish pond, is an obelisk. And it's actually not quite so big, but anyway, it's probably about 12 feet, 10, 12 feet, not 30 feet like I've drawn.
Does it look like it would fit in the hole?
Yes.
Huh.
That's different.
They just threw it in the lake because they don't like them.
They must actually do something then.
It obscured. It must have obscured their view.
Obscured their view of Venus.
Okay. Do they seem to have like smashed it in a particular way?
No, it's not
Since-
smashed. It's just been. Looks like it's been dumped here.
Okay, good.
Like you wanted some big shards, there they are.
Relevant image. I know what the obelisks are.
I mean, I'd
That's
really
bad.
like to somehow get it back in its socket, but I don't know if I can achieve that.
And that was my favorite moment.
Yeah, it's a giant motherboard. These are things.
Oh, no. It's Acadian pylon.
Yeah. Totally.
You have no idea what that is, do you?
Well, okay, yes, in that context, the pylons basically stopped or kept stability of normal space and warp space in the general area.
TLDR, remove them bad.
Yeah.
I got the basic idea.
So yes, looks like it's just been dug up and carried over here and hoisted into this small little lake. And you can quite clearly see it when you go to wash yourself off. But
So
from
the water's
distance,
clear?
it's not clear, but
Well, it's a bit
clear
pink
enough.
now.
It's clear enough to see it once you get up close to it. When you were further away, the light was refracting off the surface too much to see.
Are there any local laws or myths about moving obelisks?
Well, no one's ever moved one before. No one knows what they're for. No one
Why
knows
would
what
you
they
move
do.
them?
Every now and then, some, not all, the runes glow with a kind of a bluish faint light. You have seen them yourselves at times throughout the valley. It's no one knows if they do anything. Even the greatest sages don't know what they're for.
Speaking of the greatest sages, is there a university gathering of law masters or something within the valley?
No. You're just
Bardic College?
not sizable enough. And what are these bards you speak of?
They're a third ed thing.
Well, actually, no, they existed in first edition.
First ed, yeah.
They're hard to become too.
Oh yeah. 7th level fighter, 5th level rogue, and then you become a druid.
Nice.
Wow.
Because they were based off the old like Celtic skalds, etc.
That's why.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, the valley is not sizable enough. At least there is no gathering that you are aware of, given the fact that you have only been here for a short period of time, and you are not a world-renowned scholar yourself to receive such an invite.
I'm just playing with it online, that's all.
Maybe the university is unseen.
It could be.
Nice. Nice. I was just wondering if there was could sell information for further research. How far down in the water is the obelisk before we tie a rope to Nodgrim again?
Hard to tell truly without getting into the water and having a bit of a dip, but you think it's probably at least 5-ish feet below the surface, maybe more. It might be deeper. It's hard to tell. Judging distance through water is hard.
Hey, Nodgrim.
Nogram's nowhere near you. He's having a look through the northern part of the ruins.
He is too.
I'm going to suggest to Marc and Hypatia that we should ask Nodgrim about him continuing his excellent trend of using his stony knowledge to try and convince him to go and have a look at that. In fact, I think Hypatia would be the best person to convince him.
Well, yes, if we are allowing, rolls against other PCs.
Even if we're not, you're still the most charismatic, so roleplay it.
Roleplay it.
Alright, sure.
Hey, man,
Or you want to do the thing?
Anyway, I wander over to Nogrim and say, "Hey, I was we were washing that gore off ourselves in that pond over there, and you wouldn't believe what we found.
What'd you find?
The obelisk."
Oh, that's interesting. Let's go have a look. Now that's like 5 rounds of me walking. 5 minutes of me walking. Yep, that certainly looks to be it.
Yep. I mean, nowhere near harsh enough. But...
Now the question of what value would actually be derived from him having a closer look?
Good question. You have seen obelisks. One of you has even licked more than one.
Oh, it's obelisk soup now.
Could be, including a nice seasoning of Goliath blood.
It really adds the irony.
Again, though, is there anything to be gained? Who knows? Lots of people have studied the obelisks, you know that much. Has anything been ascertained from doing so? Nope. Are you going to be able to work out something from it? Yeah. Maybe they've never found one like this.
Oh, that's funny.
Worth it?
Yep, I can definitely confirm that appears to be what was in that hole.
What was worth it? What did you post? I can't see anything. What?
I didn't know you had access to do that.
I just changed what my display name was and the colour.
You did too.
I couldn't be bothered getting the image. That was too much effort. But, marks for creativity. Look at the roll history page, pals.
Anyway. At this point in time, the shadows
I can say, with all honesty, Grail started it.
Alright, at this point in time, you are...
getting late in the afternoon?
The shadows are getting evening. Shadows are getting long. And those of you who are facing the direction of the lake,
Yep.
in this direction, will
Do we
notice
see a clue?
a figure just moving around over here and then duck back into the cave. Or the opening there.
So, in there?
Yes.
Wait, let's
It
change
was
that
small,
colour back.
it was shuffling, and it is now out of sight.
I will say, Nodgrim, how did you get over? Oh, sorry, there you are.
Well, that's curious. Perhaps we should check it out, but maybe we should check. Nogrim, did you find anything else of interest around that part of the ruins?
Did I, Julian? When I was walking up?
No, nothing that stood out.
Nah, nothing interesting that really stood out to me.
I'd just like to say that I don't like the obelisk being the way that it is. I think they should be standing upright, even if we can't get it back in its socket. I think, the way that it is bad, and we need to right it.
You're concerned about it flopping down? You want it to see it standing?
He's just
I believe you can read
joke.
That?
What? What?
And remember, people, this is the gifts that he's searching when he's not getting into trouble.
I'm not. Screw that.
So, Caradwin, do you have a light spell left?
Caradwin has one spell memorized, and it is not light.
No, it is not light.
That makes me less keen to go traipsing through caves.
Don't we
But
have,
if you're having problems sleeping, let me know.
don't we have some torches?
We do. Do we want to use them now?
Well, I mean, better to go in now when we can run out of the cave into some daylight than for them to come out during the night.
You keep saying cave, all Grail has said was opening.
Yeah, I did actually mention cave at one stage just before I then corrected myself. It is an opening.
Sorry. Okay.
I just wanted to hear him talking about us running the open.
Indeed. I think we should get in there.
Sure, let's investigate with, with caution and pointing bits towards the enemy.
Do you have a bike chain to facilitate that?
Well,
No.
no, I was just thinking if we've got all
I
the
don't need a
iron
bike chain.
spikes, if we've got all the iron spikes, we could probably mine the entrance of the cave. So if we had to come running back out again, it'd be like a nice little trap set up out maybe the entrance.
Some dire cattle traps, huh?
Yeah, some dire caltrops. Exactly. They'd have to at least slow down, not to impale themselves. And if it's
That's
dark,
not bad.
we could leave. We could leave this path to the side. Oh, where's my pen? So we could leave a path to the side. So if we were running along one cave wall, let's say, so we could.
Yeah.
If we were running along this cave wall, you're safe. But then we could mine. So you keep your hand on the wall and run along it, and then all over here we've just got traps.
Mark.
What?
You always go on the left wall.
Whatever.
It is on the way out.
It is, yeah.
And yet...
Anyway, you can choose whichever wall. I'm just saying, what do people think of doing that?
If we don't run into trouble as soon as we step in, yeah.
Okay. I just think that would...
Why would I stop us doing dumb...
Huh? You cut off.
You cut off.
You broke up.
Why would I stop us doing something dumb now?
Good.
Nodgrim, would you like to be the voice of reason for posterity and recording's sake?
I'll have to take off my armor. I'll follow you in there.
Why
What?
did you have to take off your armor?
No, we're going to the cave entrance, not the pond.
Oh,
not the pond, okay.
Let him take off the armor.
This is like when he asked if the weapon was magical. Again.
Of course it's magical.
It is now.
I'm certain of it.
So, that's it. I'm closing Discord.
Hey, what happened? Oh, come on.
Why? Why?
Because I thought there was going to be a usable Hemsworth gift. I did not expect that one.
Was that Hemsworth, was it?
It was a Hemsworth.
That was the search term.
Okay.
Ping the
Don't
cave
worry.
entrance, Julian.
I can
I missed
double
the original.
combo these gifts. I can work it together.
I'm going to find.
I'm pinging it for you,
I'm
Doctor.
finding, and I'm going to find a new voice engine that we use and demand that we use it, and it won't have gift functionality.
That's probably a wise idea.
Not that I have anything wrong. Not that there's anything wrong with that, except when you post them in my game.
Don't worry, I comboed it in. Okay, now it works.
All right. Sure.
Cool.
Jesus Christ.
So
So who
Okay, let's
posted that? I didn't actually
expedite
spend.
here.
I didn't spend enough time on it to see who posted it. Who posted
That
it?
was... Right, the Hemsworth was me. The worst one was Aaron.
How is that the worst one? It's from Popstar, and it's solid gold.
All right, fair enough. Let's continue. Where was I again? I've just had a Whiskey Pete moment.
okay, so we were thinking of setting up some iron spikes as a basically to slow
Fallback
down any possible pursuers if we have to get the hell out of said cave in a hurry. That's if we didn't, basically walk in and immediately find trouble. So we have Lancer and I are currently maneuvering to see if we can see into said cave.
Sure. You can see what you can see. It goes through the ridges there are quite high, steep walled. It gets quite reasonably dark inside. You can see the amount that you can see because of the light that is shining through from almost what's going down directly on above it, and what's going through the opening, but the shadows are getting long, so it's getting darker inside.
Alright. Would
we're
we need to light torches, do we think? Or...
It is getting darker, so we'll need one soon.
Well, the map ends there, so...
Oh, well, maybe it widens out again.
Well, that's what we're asking.
Let's go have a look.
Yep. And then we can assess whether we need to, get some iron spikes off Carradin's ass. I mean,
Oh.
donkey.
Ass.
What is
Yes.
that? What is the
It's Terry.
Terry?
All right. So you see a figure.
call
It's a
out to said
hexagon.
figure.
That scares me.
Hello in the crevasse.
It doesn't really respond too well to you.
Ooh. Does it make any noises?
It will not make any noise, but I'm going to bring up something for you. Not there. Where have I got it?
On Discord.
No, it is...
Yes, slightly unpollute the feed.
Alright.
Ah.
It's Terry.
The creature has very, pale, flaky skin, which seems to possibly be a little bit on the slimy side as well. You can see the large pale orbs for eyes, and it is wrapped in thick robes. It kind of just looks up at you, and
it's sorely in need of some lip gloss.
Yup. Some moisturizer.
It's not
And some
really.
cataract surgery.
It's not really doing anything.
Have we ever heard of a creature like this in the valley?
Not
Or
that you're
around.
aware of.
I poke my head out and have a look.
Yep, it just seems to be in further up behind it. You can see that there is a small tunnel leading off, but it just seems to be in the way of it. It's just kind of almost, I guess you could say, ambling in spot. It looks like it's maybe about 5.5 feet tall, pretty gaunt. Its arms are exceedingly long for its body shape, and they kind of hang a little bit loose in the large voluminous robes.
Do the robes look soiled?
Well, they're old and they're dirty, yes. But
Not
not in the
grim.
way that you're probably thinking.
Okay. No, I wasn't thinking that way. Nodgrim, can you... I'm speaking quietly. Can you pass me one of those fragments of obelisk you have?
Sure. I'll pass one over. Or Sarah Dwin does. She has them.
Thank you, Saradon. Can I piff one in the general direction, trying to creature, but have a shard of obelisk land nearby and see what its reaction is?
Sure. How far are you wishing to throw it, and where are you wishing to throw it to? Just ping where you want it.
Let's say about 30 feet. The shards you described. We'll go there-ish.
Towards us. All right.
Well, maybe.
So about,
Maybe the obelisks were what were keeping these creatures away.
So
I was
that's a
actually
fairly
thinking-
sizable throw for something so light.
Indeed it is.
You can,
I am mighty, though.
You are, and we'll just say you get it up in that vicinity.
Oh, why would you encourage
I
him?
know, right?
I'm not looking.
Could you not hear the joy in Mark's voice when he used that phrasing? He wasn't saying something, but I could hear how happy he was.
When I said what?
You get it. We'll assume you get it up in that vicinity.
I wasn't. Yeah, whatever. Sure. Not a problem. You end up getting the shard
So there.
somewhere near there. Yes.
But it's a 5-foot square.
Yeah, somewhere near there. It's fine.
What is the reaction of the creature?
There is no reaction of the creature.
Hmm. Mark, you're pretty strong, aren't you?
No, not compared to you and Hypatia.
Hypatia. I
Yeah.
was going to suggest that we throw Nodgrim next, but Mark would be a better option. It might think of him as a lost child. I mean, he looks a lot like these creatures. I mean, less attractive, but...
Oi, watch your language.
Oh, no, that's about Mark.
I don't know. I think Mark uses more moisturizer than they do.
Yes, you just saw him spend 45 minutes double moisturizing in the body of a fallen foe.
Yeah.
Indeed, he did.
I reckon they actually want to right the statue. They're upset by their sacred statue being knocked over.
Are we agreed we're going to take a step forward?
Sure.
Do what you want.
I'm
We're
coming
gonna
with you.
approach this thing. All right. Sun's out, guns out, I guess.
Yep.
Sure. Sun's out, guns out, you keep moving in. It doesn't seem to pay any heed to what you're doing.
I tried calling out to it again. Does anybody know any other way to speak to it?
Yes. I have a heavy weapon.
Do you have any languages?
English and bad English?
Where am I?
It's under meat popsicle.
I have the divine language. Can I try to speak to him in that?
Sure.
Oh, why would you do that? Also, would you like me to take 1,000 XP off the sheet grab?
That's
I
fine.
can do that.
It's fine. So you are going to speak in the divine language gifted of gods, is that correct?
Yeah. Is
Sure.
that something that I would normally do?
You can do that if you wish to do so. You
Yeah.
and Nodgrim, as you get closer, it is clear that this is some form of undead creature.
Oh no.
I was thinking it looked
Is
like a
undead
hellspawn.
undead's like the gods don't like undead, do they?
Gods don't really give a shit about the undead.
I mean,
But-
who does?
But you have power over them. So
That's true.
when I say the gods don't give a shit about them, like the religions aren't the voice of gods. The religions are more, talking to these gods rather than talking for them. So you have powers, but it's like, and some religions don't even think they are gods. So it's who knows? It's
All right.
It's a bit
Is there
It's a bit
any
philosophical.
resemblance?
But nobody
what?
likes undead.
Most people don't like undead, no.
Then I say we
Something perversion of the natural order. Is there any similarities between this undead and the spectre that we've encountered before, or Guy and his zombie mate?
No.
I'd say the general composition is similar.
Or
All right.
decomposition?
Yeah, decomposition.
Nice.
No, there's
Well,
nothing.
I'm
There's
pulling out a
nothing
sword.
which is like obvious.
What are you?
It's not responding to you.
I take another step forward with my hand under my holy symbol.
Sure.
What are you, beast?
It's not responding. But hang on a second. Did you end up actually addressing it in the divine language gifted of gods? Because
Yes.
you said you were thinking of a bit. What are you talking
Oh
about?
no, he said he did.
Yes, but he didn't
Yeah.
say what he was going to say.
True.
You there, state your business.
It looks at you when you speak, but it does not respond.
Okay, I tell it to come over to me. Come here.
It does not do so.
Okay. That's unfortunate.
Do I see anything around it from where I'm standing?
Anything around it? What do you actually mean around it?
Like piles of bones, anything
no,
suspicious?
nothing. Well, other than the fact that it's undead, but you see nothing like victims or anything like that. It's
Okay.
it's just 5.5 foot thin, gaunt, kind of weird skin, even weirder eyes, wrapped in these dark robes, shuffling kind of strangely, almost in the one spot thing.
Now that I'm 10 foot away, can I see is the
Alright, can you, what, sorry?
now that I'm 10 foot away, or is the mouth as it on the picture you
You are
shared?
breaking up a little bit, at least for me you are.
And,
look like
and
a-
echoing for some reason.
Oh, hang on. That should be better.
Yep, it
Is
is.
the mouth of the creature as freaky as she shared?
Yes, it is.
Cool, that seems unnatural.
it-
I don't like it. Let's
It
kill
seems
it.
to open its mouth as you're like close up. The best way to describe it would be like a fish. It's opening and closing its mouth like a goldfish.
Mm.
Do you want us to help move? Do you want to help us move the obelisk, fellow? Buddy.
It's almost as though it's trying to talk, but no sound. At least no sound you can hear is coming forth.
I'm in favour of lopping
Can you
head.
write
so-
on the ground what you want to say?
Yeah, it's not doing anything.
All right. Well, it seems kind of harmless. I just.
Yeah, but it gives me the willies, so...
Are
I
we
think
really
we
going to
should,
camp nearby with it still around?
The one-eyed willies.
Yeah.
Fortunately not.
I'm not about destroying stuff because it gives you the willies. Like
Clearly Marc is not.
exactly.
However, everybody who's met Marc is about destroying the stuff that gives them the willies.
Some people are, not everybody.
Oh, we're just waiting till you go up in price.
My father wasn't about that.
With the daddy issues.
You hear, at this point, echoing from the tunnel beyond, which is reasonably dark, what sounds a bit like possibly chanting or something. You're not quite sure.
I stand next to it with my holy symbol in front of me. Does it come at me?
it doesn't come at you, but very slowly, almost like an exaggerated turning of the neck, which includes a almost dislocation at the hips in the way that the body moves in a disjointed, kind of serpentine kind of way to look at you, and its eyes are kind of like, if they could focus, maybe they are, you're not sure, but they look like they're focusing right at you.
I pause a second. Does it attack me?
Nope, its arm's still kind of hanging at its side.
I think there might be
I'm
some
gonna move
necromancer
past it then.
Okay, you move past it. It
I
turns
move
and it
towards
watches
it.
you.
Does it do?
It turns to look at Hypatia.
Can you guys see further down that tunnel? I'm going to
It's-
start setting up these spikes.
It's just a long, dark tunnel.
To do what with the spikes?
I'm just going to plant them in the ground. Some spikes.
Turning it into difficult terrain.
Yeah.
Are these Caradwin spikes you're using?
Yeah.
I'm sure her ass wouldn't mind.
Her food.
Exactly. I'm dirtying her food up. She'll have to recook them.
I'm gonna take
Or are
a
you
further
adding
step into the tunnel.
line?
Alright, you go into the tunnel. That's fair enough.
And that's where we're leaving it until next year. Good night, all.
Yeah. Join in next time to see if Nogram ever walks out again.
Well, Nodgrim steps into the tunnel and seems to vanish.
Oh, wall sphincters.
Uh-oh.
Oops. I'm gonna go there and see what happens. I've got my shield out. I've got my. I've got a weapon out though.
The creature kind of shuffles up to where Nodgrim entered the tunnel and stands barring entry.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
I tell it to get out of the way.
Can we just pretend I've sent a gif of Thunderdome?
Get out of the way. Does it do anything when I tell it
It
to
still
get out of the
looks
way?
at you. You're certain it's when you speak to it, and it recognizes and maybe trying to communicate. It looks that way. Your knowledge of when people do communicate, it does look similar. When it does move, it is unnatural in the extreme. It's like it is triple or quadruple jointed. But it has very exaggerated, almost slow and languorous type movements.
Enough of this.
Yep.
Stepping forward, beheading it.
Ooh.
Alright. You are beheading it with your rancer or your sword?
My rancer.
Alright, so it's pretty hard to behead it, but you somehow managed to do so. You did so to the Goliath, so yeah.
I had practice.
It's not a partisan, but yeah, it's it's more of a spear with a point, but yeah, you stab it many times and its head falls off. Splat. It is now,
I like that extra range.
It is now still standing, sands ahead.
So a magic colored key did not fall out of it?
alright.
And
Sounds
about-
bad for Nodgrim.
About 10, 15
Yep, it is.
About 10 to 15 seconds after its head is removed from its shoulders, the body just seems to slowly slump to the ground.
When the head falls off, I'm kicking it back to Marc. He has a thing for heads.
Okay.
Thanks. It's called a sack.
It's squelchy. You get squelch on your foot.
That sack must be so fucking nasty.
Yeah, we're getting.
Well, maybe
insane.
that was my favorite moment of this session.
So yes, you get this like kind of a mucusy kind of slime all over your foot after you kick its head.
I'm going to wipe that off on the driest part of
Alright.
Hypatia's cloak.
At
Yeah,
this point in
no.
time- At this point in time, Hypatia and Jaquan both make a saving throw versus poison for me, as you start to realize that in death it reeks.
That's not.
The poison.
Nogram's the safe one.
No save modifier, I believe.
just roll and get equal to or above the number that you need.
I believe that counts.
That is a good save.
Do I have a modifier? No, I don't.
And that is a good save. Yeah,
It's not as good a save.
it just smells like Marc in the morning. And
Oh, that is one of my 24 least favourite smells of mine.
yet it has never proved fatal, at least to you.
I have a very strong constitution.
It
I don't.
smells very sulphurous in death.
Oh,
I'm going
what is
to.
flammable? Well,
I
at least we're-
survived, but it's not nice.
At least we're not in an enclosed space. Oh wait.
It doesn't seem like the gas is reaching anyone else. It was just Hypatia and Jaquan. It was like an immediate.
Are we
vicinity.
going to go after Nodgrim now?
Yeah, we probably should. Party split is
Yeah.
death.
Yep. All right. I'm gonna.
But the smell's really bad. I mean, Marc. But
I'm gonna cover my mouth with like some of my clothing, and rush past, trying not.
just before you rush past, I ask you why you haven't done that before. That makes you look much better.
I actually normally wear a hood, so I do that.
You should do it more. You said normally, not
there's no-
always.
There's not much I can do, but like cover myself in as many bandages and rags as I do, which is what I do.
And he does.
When you do that thing you do.
Yeah. Oh. Anyway, rush past.
Cool.
Yep. Ceradrin will race to my safety.
It's Caradwin.
Caradwin.
He uses a hard C.
The only thing I like less than this plan is being on my own.
I just gotta
Okay.
myself down.
So you all enter the tunnel.
Of death.
Except for Lenza. He's just gonna hang. Oh no! Now they've gone. Never mind.
So, what were you saying about the one-shot crowd?
I didn't think you'd walk into the sphere of annihilation, but hey,
Woo!
better than Tomb of
Ah.
Horrors.
It's not a sphere of annihilation, it's a sphere of you guys should have known better.
Deliberate total party wipe.
No. So once you enter the tunnel, and this goes for Nodgrim as well, it's disorienting. You find that all your senses seem to be out of sync. You all are suffering from racking headaches. It is quite debilitating. You stagger and stumble along, almost without really any control of what it is that you're trying to achieve. You find that there is somewhere ahead. I'm not going to look at that.
It's the Stargate.
Is it?
No.
Yep.
Okay. I just don't trust your gifts anymore. Anyone's.
Imagine what?
You feel more than you see that somewhere ahead is a light source. It is kind of just out of reach. You don't know how long it is that you have been struggling to reach it for, but it seems like it's been a long time. You hear, almost feel as well, this chanting. And it is quite deep and resonant. It seems for those of you with a more divine bent, specifically the two clerics, and especially those who have, the two clerics are the ones with it. Do I want to watch this?
Oh.
Okay. I've
It's
seen
not
that
terrible. It's actually vaguely relevant.
one. I've seen that one.
Oh, so is Stargate.
You think that it has the language has something familiar about it. It's almost as though it is a bastardization of the divine language gift of the gods, but you're not quite sure. You think you make out words, but they have no context. They have no rational reason for being phrased in the way they are.
God gifts.
It's like they're being pronounced wrong, whether deliberately or not, it's unsure. But yeah, it's... let me just go and make this change on this other computer I'm doing. Make that map. And then I go to that, right. Why did that not work? Yeah, it's... screw it, I'm not going to bother with that. It's not really important to this anyway. I was going to try and pull up another small little map, but it's not relevant. I can instead show it to you as an image, which I will do. Actually, I'll just shift you across to that, because it is there.
Time to zoom out a bit. That looks healthy.
You eventually stumble more than walk out of this miasma, and you realise that you feel weak, physically weak.
Oh.
It's as though you have walked for a long time. How long the passage of time has been, you're not sure. Excuse me. And you realise that you are in a chamber that is surrounded by lava. Now, lava is not in the immediate vicinity. It is quite far below you, but there is a radiant heat, and that's another sulphurous smell.
It's the Temple of Doom.
Oh, I was just going to shout Isildur again.
Let's see if I can put this grid on. It didn't want to do it before.
I'm fine if we just use the theatre of our mind.
Yeah, I'm quite happy to do that. I was just going to try and give you some kind of image as to how large it was. It's sizable. There are a number of spires, not just the 4 you see there, but there are others just outside of you're like almost on the periphery of your vision, up above you, etc. They look like bastardized obelisks. They have runes on them. The runes are glowing red, not blue.
Mm-hmm.
Standing near the circle is a man. Yep. He's standing about... Oops, that's the wrong thing. I want to go to that. Is that going to... I want to put that on the map layer. And that actually brought up the grid. I'll take that grid off, actually. And we'll just continue using without it. Alright. Standing about here is a man. He wears white robes, and he has his back to you. Where are we? It is group handout, that, save. He is doing the chanting. As you are watching him, you notice in your periphery, around these spires, a number of those other creatures. There's about a total of 6 of them.
Now they drop like a sack of shit.
And you also notice another man in kind of dirty robes.
Where's he standing? Near the spires?
Yep, with these other creatures. As you have come out of the miasma and you've taken this all into consideration, the man doing the chanting has stopped. He keeps his back to you.
And where are we in the bottom right?
Yeah, you're about here.
Okay.
So are those obelisks rearing up, sort of pointing towards each other?
Yes, they are kind of
as a
pointing
cage?
over. As you
Yep.
can see the shadows.
Yep.
Almost like
Right.
rib cages.
I was checking whether that was just the art or whether you were going slightly different from the image.
Nope.
But there's more of them up above, sort of
Yeah.
coming out of the walls.
So more like fangs than.
Are they like out here? Is that what you're talking about? But up above, or
Yes.
are they like?
Yes. And they don't seem to be as structured in their placement as these four that are before you. They seem to be more haphazard in their placements.
And this little island thing looks like a small
A small what? Sorry.
body
I guess it does.
with ribs and a head.
Maybe.
You realise, Grail, anytime you show us any, one of us is going to be like, your body or head?
Oh yeah. I'm fully aware. The guy has not turned to face you, but it is clear that he is most likely aware of your presence. The other creatures, there's the 6 of these undead creatures, and the other man are definitely aware of your presence. The other man has a long, wicked-looking dagger in his hand, which he is obviously holding in a semi-threatening manner.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to try and turn these undead.
I would like to do something, and I forgot.
Ooh, you would
Nope.
like to be brain-locked.
Right, so let me just quickly show you by drawing some shapes. Actually, you know what I'll do? Instead of shapes, I'll just put on just where they, like, you've already got the circle there. So I'll just put on some tokens just to give you an indication as to where these things are.
Servitors are. How long is the range of your turn as?
It is basically sight.
Oh, okay.
So let's just grab.
Nodgrim? Are you thinking of backing him up with that? Nodgrim?
Ooh.
Nordgrim.
Sorry, I stepped away for 2 seconds. What were you saying?
So Zeltarnin's going to try and turn the servitors. Did you want to?
Yeah, which
Help him out with
which
that?
group are you going after? The northern or southernmost ones?
It's just sort of a turn undead, as far as I understand. You know?
Isn't it an area of effect?
No, you're thinking of different.
You just
Okay.
sort of raise your holy symbol and like.
Yeah, I'll definitely participate in trying to banish the.
Well, you're going to be vastly more successful than me, but
True that.
I was going to go for it anyway, since I am really bad at turning undead.
Hey, you do you, buddy.
I will.
Someone has to.
So I roll 2d6 minus 2. That's going to be bad. Oh, wait. Or do I roll 2d6 plus 2?
Yeah, how does that table work?
All right, let me.
I'm looking at it now.
Because my charisma is really bad, so I add to it, I think.
It doesn't use your charisma; it just uses your.
What does it?
No.
It's just their HD versus our level or something. It's not even a roll, is it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it
So
is?
please.
It is modified because
Oh, yeah, okay.
Taos tried to turn the
Let me
Spectre
pull.
last time we saw it.
So you can
Did not
see.
roll well, but
So that number. Are you looking in the Advanced Edition Companion,
Yep,
page
I
13?
I am. Yep.
Okay, so you can see the number there. That's the number you need to equal or exceed to turn something of it. So, Nodgrim
Okay.
being second
Gotcha.
level, if you roll a 5 or higher on 2d6, you will turn a 1-hit die creature, etc. That's the maximum level of hit die creature that you can turn.
Yeah.
When you successfully turn
BRB.
creature, then you roll 2d6 to determine the total number of hit dice that you turn. And you affect weakest first.
So do you roll a d20
So
and then
it's a
2d6?
At no point did I mention d20, it's all 2d6.
2d6. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
2d6 and then 2d6. Anyway, I will try it by rolling my 2d6.
Sure.
Yes?
Yep, go for it.
I got an 8.
Sure.
Acceptable.
I got the same.
Sure. They do not bat an eyelid. They don't have
Okay.
eyelids to bat, but that's beside the point.
So that means the 3 hit die or above.
The man at the circle,
We should run.
the man at the circle,
Uh-huh.
the gods will not help you in here.
Oh.
I mutter on gods do not help us. Really, they're kind. I mean, they're great. They're great. Not saying anything.
Indeed.
All right.
Where's my volume going down randomly? Go up.
Well,
Go up.
We may not wish to charge ahead. Let's
If
take
that's-
it
if
carefully.
that's the case, I unlimber my great axe and say we should get the heck out of here.
Who would help us in here then?
Ooh, good question.
I'm
I'll
not
pull
just a
my
gift
axe out as
master.
well.
Why are you here?
Why are any of us here? The gods haven't provided great answers. I know some come here for power. We came here searching for
Obelisks.
no. What was his name? Nodgrim? Barry.
Barry.
Ken. Steve. Steve?
Barry.
Barry? Steve?
No, I'm just checking my notes.
Barry?
I have time to wait.
Break.
Pull out your
Oh, right.
We're looking for Bray.
He was a fellow about as tall as
Yeah. Have you
The
seen
short
this
one?
dwarf? Have you seen this dwarf? He was pretty. He was pretty fat. He had cropped hair. He had a limp.
had a
And
face
more
not
importantly,
even
a signet
father
ring
would
that we're
want.
looking for.
Have you seen Braith, son of Doric?
One of you step forth.
I step one pace backwards because I played this game.
Marc has never played.
It's Nogrim's quest. He'll step forward.
Oh no! What are you doing? Don't play this.
He's stepping
Obviously
forward.
a crazy evil person. That's why I'm saying we should run.
He turns to face you now. You notice that he has, like,
The hammer.
no, but he has, and either he has body modifications, he has scars, etc. On his body.
Yep, I can see the scars on his chest.
Yep, and his eyes point almost in different directions at the one time. Almost as though they focus individually. Step forth. Stand upon the rune of salt.
Not sure if I want to stand on the rune.
Let's see if we can put these guys to sleep and then run.
That sounds pretty good.
I'll very slowly
see.
start walking forward while these guys formulate their plans.
Alright.
See, he
provide
doesn't
a
need
distraction.
hands to rip Nogrim's soul out of his body and consume it.
I don't.
It's my heart I'm worried about. This is Temple of Doom for sure.
Kali lava ma? Kali lava cake ma.
Oh,
Mm,
what's that guy?
That's
that's Dol the Helper.
it is.
I mean, I don't know that.
Oh,
he's
moving
just
around.
freaky bald-looking guy. Does he look as quasi-undead in the flesh?
He's looks unhealthy.
Would I say a
Bit of vitamin D
grey
deficiency.
pallor?
He looks to be alive but not hardy and hale. His eyes dart to and fro, and he looks to be of nervous disposition at best.
Oh, good.
I'm going to casually walk up to here.
Sure. Do you want your tokens, but just so you can just position yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Alright, let me put some tokens on the map. What I might do is I might actually put that grid back on just to get an idea. If I just... I'll put these guys on just to give you more of an idea. Let's just put these roughly. I don't actually have a token for the dude, so Nodgrim's walking forward, Marc's doing his thing, Hypatia's doing her thing, Jaquan's retreating, Lens is over there,
Standing out of the immediate line of...
I can't move my
Kerbin's
tokens.
there. I haven't given you control. I've got to work out why that's the case. You should. I set these as your default tokens, but it's not working.
We should have rested before we came in here. I've got 0
Heck yes.
spells left.
We should have done a lot of things. Is there a portal behind us as I quickly glance over my shoulder?
There is a tunnel.
Cool.
Lens. Actually, why don't I give control of Lenza to Lenza, who had access before?
And
to Lenza,
Caradwin,
who
me.
was Zelmarro and Caradwin.
I need access to Marc.
Sure.
No.
Consider it done.
Giving
access of Jaquan to Marc.
Yep, fair.
Oh no.
Where are you?
Just keep me alive while I'm alive, but...
Can everyone control their character?
Yep.
No, clicking on Marc, nothing's happening.
I've got control. I can control. Wait. I can control Lens, I can't control myself.
That's because I did not give you control. I need to work this out because these were set as your default tokens. But anyway, and because I don't have a token for this dude, I'm going to just put on this guy. Will do.
Hello, Mr. Rando. Rando.
He has a name.
Okay. So
As I'm in. Oh, sorry.
you are walking forth, are you, Nodgrim? He has
Very
said to
slowly.
stand on the rune of salt.
Man, you were going to get so much power.
Don't do it, man. As I walk past Hypatia to go stand up here, I just whisper to her, "Hey, go push one of them into the lava. That's what I'm gonna do." And just, I casually walk up to this guy, and if nobody does anything, I'm just gonna shove him as hard as I can into the lava and see if
I sort of walk up to the Obelisks and
Fair.
try and pretend to examine them.
Marc gives him a shove. It staggers and stumbles back and falls pretty slowly, it seems. Or maybe time is just standing still. And then it hits the lava below. You realise that you now have some kind of slimy, mucusy goo all over your hands.
I regret nothing.
Make a poison save?
I mean, if nothing happens, like, I'm just going to try and quickly push the other two in as well.
Okay, before you do that, this guy steps forward and yells out something in a language that you cannot understand.
Ooh,
and
it's not the divine language.
He points his finger in your direction.
Uh-oh.
Can those of us with the divine language gift of the gods make out any?
Nope.
It's like broken.
None of you understand it.
Okay.
None.
None shall pass.
Seems bad.
It's-
All right.
A bolt of pure blackness streaks from his fingertip, striking you, Marc. 7 points of damage.
Ow.
Ooh.
Hey, Marc had that number of hit points.
Oh, you didn't heal me? Ah, fine.
No.
Why?
Does that then render you to 0?
Yes.
Indeed, the perfect
Hero.
number.
Somebody didn't
Oh,
heal me,
shit.
even though I had 2 heal spells.
Saving throw versus death.
Thanks, Den. That's fine. I'll
So
roll.
good. So good.
Death by misplanning. Not planning. Oh god, why?
7. Fail.
You have rolled poorly.
Indeed.
Okay.
Second worst death ever.
As this man casts his spell, and it blasts into Marc, who, with a moment of pain and horror etched on his face for all eternity, slumps to the ground. The guy near the circle yells out, "Dol, no!" But it's too late. He is lifting his dagger and moving forward. Okay. Combat will occur at this point, clearly.
Ouch.
Alright. You can go first since you are closest, Nordgrim.
Norgrim will see Mark slump to the ground, and he'll go racing forward with his battle axe
At
Doll.
Sure. Go for it. Make your attack.
It's not a good one.
It is not. Feel free to put yourself next to him. Alright. Hypatia.
You bastard! You killed Kenny! I mean, Mark!
What are you doing?
And
Yelling
I
at-
pull out some sort of halberd and have at it.
Ooh, how?
I do better.
You have rolled well.
Yeah, I mean that hits like AC 5, so
Yep.
Alright. Let's,
damage.
4 even. My mistake.
It's enough. Dol slumps to the ground. There is blood splattered across the stonework. He is not moving. His dagger skitters across the stone and comes still. Alright. Caradwin can go next.
Is the Shakram ranged?
Yes.
Yep.
Then she will pull out a Chakram and throw it at the southernmost. That one.
Sure. Her chakram flies over the edge into the lava.
Yep.
Actually, no, probably that roll it doesn't. It will stay on the...
We're not getting that.
And then she moves into a sort of covered position there.
Sure. And then Lenza.
Lenza will stay, basically, actually she'll step over that way and take a shot at this one here.
Go for it.
Alright, let's see, longbow... That... that's what I'm after.
She's short range. She has +1 to hit. She has a
Okay.
dex that gives her +2 to hit, I believe.
Alright.
That will strike it. It is not seeming to try and defend itself.
Cool. Let's roll some damage.
Nice.
It will collapse into a pile of, like slimy body and robes, but it does so in a slow, almost arduous kind of manner. Jaquan, you are next.
Mark, no! How could this happen? And I'm going to run towards Mark and, stowing my Rancer, grab Mark's shoulders and start dragging his body back.
Sure.
It's what he would have wanted.
The opposite direction.
Sure, no worries. Let me put this guy out of his misery as well. Blah, blah, blah. He got stabbed good. The man at the circle will hold up his hand. Enough! Blood has been spilled for blood. One life for another.
No! If you must take a life, don't take Marc's. Take one of these other ones.
They're worth
Like the person
money.
who's in here!
Come forward,
Fine.
dwarf. Stand on the rune of salt.
First, you'll help my friend.
Can you help our friend?
He is gone.
Yes, we would like him back.
Put my body in the circle. It'll be golden.
Yeah, if anyone's going to that circle, it's Marc now.
I was going to say, Marc's body is already golden.
Yeah, indeed.
We just have to get him back.
Norgrim might not be smart, but he's got wisdom, and he's not stepping on that fucking circle.
I'm not going to lie, I'm tempted.
I am a god.
I do have a habit of taking offers and bow.
The figure, the man, will turn his back on you again and start concentrating on the circle. Then if you will not stand on the rune of salt,
Would,
leave.
however I should address you, would you return Marc to us if I stood on the circle?
I don't think it's...
He turns around with a smile on his face. It is acceptable.
Oh, I don't trust him.
That's interesting.
What made you not trust him?
The evil chanting was a good start.
The rune of salt. They all look similar. You're not sure which one's which.
Oh, I assumed the whole circle was made of salt.
No.
Now there's runes around it,
There are 6 in particular glowing runes.
but only 4 squares, so you got a 1 in 4 chance.
No, he doesn't because the runes are not 5x5 and he is not a 5x5 individual.
I mean, I have been working out, but... Really? You didn't go with the Buffy rune? My culinary skills are not great. Which one's salt again?
Between earth and fire. Oh, sorry, between earth and acid.
Yes.
Two.
Can I make an intelligence check to try and work it out myself?
Sure. 2 to the right from hate.
But
Two to
hate
the
leads
left.
to suffering.
2 to the left from doom.
Surely that's enough clues.
Yeah, even with my 13 in...
If only you had someone who knew the mystic arts.
Like,
What's
Karen would...
there doing?
Yeah.
They're doing.
Garrett.
But she may not know the magic language. I don't think she does, actually. Let me have a look.
Let me
Dun, dun, dun,
look before I move around.
No, I've stepped. She's too far away.
No, she doesn't have it.
You stand on a rune.
2 from 2.
Yup.
Drag my
Roll
body.
d6.
Oh. What? D6, man. D6. That was a D20. Cool.
No, the D20 was trying my intelligence check.
Oh, okay, right.
Hopefully that's not damage.
Only to my soul.
That's how many mutations you get.
It is
Okay.
fine. There's an
We
Inquisition
will
in the
now
valley.
call you.
Mutations can be good.
Right.
Weeds, tail.
You step upon a rune.
Mm-hmm. Now who's the rust monster, bitches?
The man looks at you cocks his head slightly to the side. That is the rune of death.
Oh,
Uh,
go stand on a different one.
Not your death. You are lucky this day. He points to the right rune.
I will stand upon that rune.
And then he will turn around and he will continue chanting.
I assume I feel tingly.
No, not really. Not
Anticipation.
really tingly. Maybe a bit nervous.
I'm sorry.
But
But
also, Grail, it's your fault that I'm doing this.
fine. What could possibly go wrong?
No, the reasoning is quite simple, Grail. You had him say that the gods could not help us in here. As you know, Kruber fears the gods.
Mm-hmm.
If they can't help here, but it's an end, that seems like a pretty good way out of their tormenting. That's at least what's running through Kruber's mind when he makes this decision, as well as a small amount helping Marc.
It seems like, once again, time almost stands still, especially for Kruber. The chanting goes on. And on.
Try to remember what he said.
That's
Write this shit down.
Klaatu Barata Nectar.
These remaining undead creatures move between the circle, the man, Jaquan, and the rest of the group. But they are looking forward. And those of you who are capable of noticing will notice that there seems to be a nimbus of dark, almost like a miasma of dark light. It's both dark and illuminating at the one time, surrounding them, and it seems to almost be leaching something from Jaquan into them. After what seems like an age, the chanting
Can we take
stops.
action?
You can do whatever you want.
I'm going to attack one of those front undead.
My soul!
Sure. You cut it down. It is quite easy for you to put your axe through. It hits the ground with a squelchy sound after seeming to fall for an age.
interesting.
Is that all you're doing?
Yes, and Saradwin will move up and throw a chakram at the southernmost one.
Sure. I don't know if Caradwin would be so brave, but in your hands, clearly she is.
I'm pretty sure Caradon's rummaging through these creatures count as reproductive organs looking for stuff.
Yeah, pretty sure looting doll.
Is
but-
that your roll for Caradwin's?
It is, sorry. Yep.
Okay, it strikes one and it also goes down. There is still this nimbus and this seeming to be trail of something going from Jaquan to these creatures.
It's like we don't know what's
You've
going
half
on.
the amount, maybe. I don't know.
The chanting,
It's
has
all his
stopped,
impurities are being taken away. He's
and the
being
man turns to look at you. Nodgrim, he looks at you.
I'm looking back.
If the ritual does not complete, your friend will not be returned to you.
Ooh.
What? Marc wants to come back? Tell me more.
Your choice, Nodgrim and Wolfeet.
Dum, dum.
I will wait and see if you are true to your word.
He keeps chanting. The nimbus returns, the trail starts to emanate from Jaquan to these creatures, and then after maybe another 5 minutes, it ceases. Jaquan slumps to the ground.
I guess I'll move forward and see if he's still alive, or if he's some sort of, lifeless shell.
And this man will start moving over towards Marc. Alright. Move yourself up to Jaquan then, if you are so concerned about him. He is gaunt. His skin appears grey. His eyes are closed, and when you try to lift the lids, you notice that his eyes are filled with blood.
Jaquan. Jaquan.
He is
Are you with
unresponsive.
us?
You now hear more chanting.
Oh, I see.
Nogrum starts running back over towards Marc.
The man has
Oh.
kneeled. The man has kneeled and has placed his hand upon the chest of Marc.
Is this must be some way of transferring his life force?
I'm gonna let you finish, but this is amazing. Marc and I are gonna share the same body.
The man.
We'll both get to control. It is the best Christmas present I could have asked for.
The man reaches inside his robes and takes out 2 copper coins and places them upon Marc's eyes. And then, as you approach Nodgrim, he finishes chanting and Marc's body starts to jerk.
I'm waiting and watching with
And
my axe drawn.
Slowly it starts to stand up.
Uh-oh.
Marc, are you alright, mate?
Your friend has been returned.
I step up to Marc and have a close look to him. Look at him. Does he look like he's the Marc?
Deadite.
Ooh.
Marc swings at you, striking you true, Nodgrim, for 3 points of damage with a hefty blow.
Why did Jaquan roll?
Ah,
I mean, it's fine, but
yes, because I still had...
why would that have been? Well, if he's hitting you, it's probably...
Marc, no!
The man starts to laugh as he walks back to the circle.
I believe...
Your friend on the Rune of Salt will recover in time. Your other friend has been returned as best I can.
Hey, a zombie half-orc is probably worth even more.
what are
So
you
much
doing?
more durable.
What are you doing, Nodgrim? There is a quite clearly undead Marc trying to claw your face.
Yep, I jump back as far as I can, trying to keep up with this guy.
Sure, can you move that far? I assume you can. What are you doing?
He can.
Yep.
If I can reach him, I'm going to attack him.
Well,
with
you
my bat.
can't move and attack in the one round like that far. Remember, you move as though you were one
Oh, yeah.
level
Yep.
more encumbered. He reaches the circle. You are now free to go. Take Jaquan with you.
So, in my semi-expert opinion, do I reckon Marc's now undead?
Yes. In fact, I told you he was undead.
Oh, you okay?
He's a zombie.
Or were you meaning me?
No, Jaquan is fine. Well, not
Yeah.
fine. He's alive. His eyes have been opened. The blood is starting to drain down his cheeks.
What do we do now? Do I put Marc down? It's not Marc.
No, but I sacrificed.
Since you've been talking and that Marc has managed to catch you, and you feel a thud on your back as he's trying to, hit you through your mail and not doing very well. It's more like a love tap. Something like that.
Not good.
What are you doing to Marc? Doing anything? You're going to let him keep attacking you?
Oh, is it my attack? Is it my
You can
turn
do
to
what-
react again?
You can react
All right.
whenever you want.
No, that's not Marc. So, no, I'm gonna.
But it's worth money.
I'm gonna back off and try and get this.
Try and get what, sorry?
I'm gonna try and get the warlock.
Sure.
We'll worry about what to do about Marc later. This dude needs to die.
I think he's a bit. Yeah, I think whatever happens, I think Mark's a bit past it.
Can I assume that Ceridwen is picking up the shattered remains of her courage and
Doing what, sorry? You broke it then last.
legging it?
Sure, but not before, because I know that Kerrigan would do this. She runs past the dagger that Dole dropped and snaffles it. Because that is something that Craig would never forget.
Does that mean she's used up her action for throwing a chakram at that
Yes.
southern?
That's it, because her will's been broken, so she's actually going in this direction.
Okay.
Did Dole have any other jewelry or any jewelry on him that she can loot?
None that was obvious, and she's actually now realised she's a bit too close to zombie Marc, and is probably not wanting to be there. Jaquan, Hypatia, Lenza, what are you guys doing? Jaquan is out.
Yep.
Marc, you can now control Lenza. I'll give you control of Lenza.
Excellent.
Why is she
I'm going to
walking
drag
towards...
Jaquan off the circle and out of here.
Oh, finally.
All right.
So I guess I can drag him a couple of squares.
Ugh.
Yeah, Lenza's just going to. Do you reckon we can restrain Marc and drag him to town tied up?
It's possible. Awkward, but possible. Anything's possible.
You might have a better thing for caving in Gull and Dragon. I mean, I doubt the alchemist wanted the brain. It is clearly Marc's least valuable.
Well, actually,
second least valuable.
When I say
organ.
anything's possible, not anything's possible, but you can try definitely to subdue a zombie and bind him. Is that what you're wishing?
Oh,
At the
let's
very
see what the
least,
city
we need
guard
to
make
take
of it.
his head. That head's worth a bounty.
So, Grail, you're saying that it's not possible the gods are secretly ponies?
It's possible. That's possible. Maybe.
Add heresy.
Oh, who knows? Crazy as it is. But, being that you are now in control of Lenza is about 5 and a bit feet tall. She's tiny, because elves are get to 5.5 feet tall.
I wasn't going to do it. I was,
Thinking
maybe
one of the two
Hypatia.
muscle bounds could do it,
Well,
even though one
yeah.
of the muscle bounds is KO'd
Yeah.
effectively. All right, at this point in time, are you doing anything? Because otherwise,
Yeah, I'm attacking the warlock.
all right, go for it.
What?
Fucking hell, he's just
Party
flailing wildly
Total
tonight.
party wipe.
Yeah.
All right, you swing. However, it's fine. The warlock is not defending himself. Your axe bites into his back. There is a satisfying crunching sound. Blood spurts from his mouth. He slumps to his knees. And he looks up at you as he's starting to fall face first. Strikes
Not
out
grim.
a hand.
Oh.
Strikes out a hand as he's falling. Nodgrim Anvil feet. You have made a poor decision.
Push him onto the rune of death.
I think not.
It's this one.
I push him back onto that rune.
He laughs as blood's spurting up from his mouth. This body was never mine. And then his eyes roll into his back of his head.
Can I now point out to Nogrim that he was in a white...
All right, let's get out of here.
Alright,
Let's
Jaquan, you are able to be semi-mobile now.
What happens to the servitors when that happens? When he dies?
They're still standing there.
Yeah,
I'm going to
whatever.
be staggering towards... Mark.
Is the warlock's body still there?
Yeah.
I just quickly give it a
Ooh,
Once
anybody
over.
else?
Once over.
Okay, you are.
Anybody
you
else
are-
lost
Hang
connection
a
to
second.
server? Oh no, it's back.
You are aware that you are still being attacked by a zombie?
Oh, Mark.
Yep. He just hit you again, but it didn't penetrate your armor. It was just like another love tap.
I moved to the other side of the warlock and do a quick tap
You're
pat down.
standing on a rune there. I don't know. Seems dangerous.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe there's a better place to stand.
I try. Is there some sort of maneuver I can use to push him over?
Yeah, you can try. Go for it.
Alright, is that
Make an
just like
attack
a
roll.
strength check?
Yeah, make an attack roll.
Alright.
With your +3. Oh my goodness. That's
Sure.
a critical. Oh no, it's not.
It is for a fighter. Oh no, it's not. 'Cause
Yeah.
you didn't roll a natural 19. Yeah,
Yeah.
you give him a good old solid thwack. Roll. Since you're trying to knock him over and you aren't too concerned about damage, yeah, that's a good roll. Roll a d8 for me.
Can he impale me on one of the obelisks? They're kind of pointy.
They're a bit high.
Oh.
Alright. 5. He doesn't actually fall prone, but he does stagger back, and he loses his balance. So he's out of action for a turn. Are you guys doing anything in particular, or are you trying to leg it?
No.
searching.
While I would like to leg it, I'm going to attempt to grab Mark's and hold it up to him to see if I can bring him back.
Mark's what? Sorry, you cut out again.
Mark's holy symbol.
Sure, you grab
And
his
see if
holy
I can bring him back.
Yep, no worries. I heard that bit. I just didn't see what you were.
Ah.
You just were trying to grab Mark's something.
Yeah, I mean,
Trying to spark him back to life here with a quick hand job.
I know which one has a better chance of success. But
You grab the hand. You grab the holy symbol.
Merry Christmas, one and all.
Indeed. You grab his holy symbol, if that's what he calls it.
Yeah.
He flounders. You hold it up. He doesn't seem to recognize the holy symbol at all.
Oh.
I'll punch him in the face with it then.
Sure, make an attack. you have -3 on the roll at the moment because you are so weak.
D20.
You don't get to add your strength bonus. You just have a straight -3 on it.
Oof.
That's what I was doing. I was
Yep.
putting in the -3.
Cool. Your punch is. Oh, it's so heavy. This armor I'm wearing. And it's you haven't done a very good job. You've missed.
Nope.
Missed.
I'm
Were you still
almost as unco as Mark.
Were you still trying to pat down this dude?
Oh, yeah.
Malcolm?
Yep, I'll pat him down.
All right. He has nothing, including nothing underneath the robe.
Oh, good.
When you say nothing, are we talking Ken nothing, or are we talking William Wallace nothing?
William Wallace, and but the body is heavily scarred in what seems to be ritualistic self-mutilation.
Yep. Okay. I take note of the face.
You take note of the face?
Yeah.
Sure. Do you want me to pull up his the thing again?
Oh, I've already got it up.
Cool. Alright. Yep, you take note of the face.
I'll ask around town. See if anyone's gone missing lately.
Sure. Alright. Jaquan?
Let's try that again, but less bad.
Marc staggers past you.
Or more bad. More bad's also good.
And you almost stagger past him. Alright, this is a cripple fight at the moment. Reminds me of Caradwin versus the Goblin.
Except we're both technically PCs, so...
Technically you
better?
are, and Marc isn't prone.
or pinned.
Or pinned. Alright. Is anyone doing anything else, or are you leaving?
Yep. I stepped
I was actually gonna... I'm surprised no one
stepped-
actually took the effort to try and restrain him somehow.
Zombies
Are we going to do that?
Zombies are incredibly strong, at which you have noticed. He has increased his strength immeasurably. Clearly, in the couple of minutes that he's been down and brought back to life in a horrific semblance of it, he's gone lifting.
Oh.
I step towards him, hold out my holy symbol, and say, "Back to the earth. I'm dead."
Alright, roll 2d6.
My next game plan is in the gift form.
7. 7 is not good enough. You feel, even though you probably think it should be good enough, you feel resolute, you feel no connection. You feel nothing driving forth your iron will towards this horrific mockery of Mark's life.
I feel like the gods are
steady on. Horrific mockery might be overstating it. Talking about.
Are you going to
Yeah.
try and subdue it? It is hard to subdue him, but you did almost knock him over before.
Yes. I'm going to attempt to subdue
Well,
him.
Hypatia can act. Mark is...
right.
Divine is pretty useless at the moment. Caradwin has long gone.
Okay. Try and push him over again.
Well, long gone to here. Go for it. Make an attack roll. That's good enough. Roll a d8 for me.
That sure is.
Yeah, you've knocked him on his ass. You've
All right.
come up with the shoulder, underneath the jaw, and he's gone staggering back
All right.
steps. Oops, not that far.
I shout, if you guys want to really want to take him back alive, now's a good. Well, take him back animated. Now's a good time.
I will attempt to help. So
Okay.
So will I. I'll attempt to hold him down.
At this point in time, you can lay the stacks on, and we'll say that you can subdue him long enough with the help of Lenza and the newly brave Caradwin, who will give you moral support from here. And you can definitely subdue and restrain Marc if you have the means to do so. You have rope, but I don't think anyone has any manacles. So, yeah.
who knows what Hypatia has on?
Definitely brave.
Sure, so you've got Marc. You now have yourselves a pet zombie Marc.
Oh,
You
good.
Yes.
It could be like your mascot.
Worst
Come the
mascot
invention party
ever.
pet zombies. That's right.
So the best point is, I'm reasonably sure Aaron's not a roll up a new character. So I think
hear
we
what
should
you're saying.
keep him around as long as we have zombie Marc.
What did you say?
Aaron.
Oh, you broke up a bit there. Did you say Aaron?
As
what?
as long as we've got zombie Marc, Aaron can't have a new character. So we should keep zombie Marc for as long as possible.
Aaron can have as many characters as Aaron wants.
Ah.
If he keeps dying.
What action do you want to take, Mark? Oh, that's right. You're not in control of your actions anymore.
The real sad thing is that Marc had earned enough XP to level.
That's right.
Oh, that's annoying.
Is it annoying or is it wonderful?
Okay, so we can have you retreat through the...
Whose idea was it to go in that cave anyhow?
Who's a character? Whose idea was it to?
To play games that are fun? I think that was Grail's. And I thank him for it. Unlike some ungrateful players.
You can retreat, and once again, it took a while, though it doesn't seem to be as disconcerting or as time-consuming for you to get out. Because, you know, going in the opposite direction, the trip never takes as long.
Also, we lost those parts of the soul that were going to
Did Kerrigan manage to loot anything good off Dole, or did he not have?
Dole didn't seem to have anything else on him,
any?
except
Dagger.
he
The
had
evil dagger.
a signet ring on
Oh.
his
Ah,
finger.
Ooh. Is it the one we're looking for?
We'll have to find that out next week.
nice. And by next
The
week, I
cliffhanger.
assume-
You mean a fortnight from now?
A fortnight from now, indeed.
or later.
Yes.
Will I be in a fortnight? I will not be in a fortnight, but the week after.
Alright, so we'll work it out anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to stop recording now.